Have you ever heard about the MACV-SOG, a distinguished military unit from the Vietnam War? This clandestine group, officially known as the Military Assistance Command Vietnam Studies and Observations Group, was brought into existence in 1964. The MACV-SOG's mission was no small feat. They were tasked with strategic reconnaissance missions that spanned across the geographic breadth of South Vietnam, North Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia. It was a complex operation that required the combined efforts of various military branches and the CIA. The operations were highly classified, and operatives were sworn to secrecy for over 20 years. A MACV-SOG played a pivotal role in the escalation of the Vietnam War. As a covert unit, they were the unseen force operating in the shadows and directly impacting the flow of the conflict. Their influence extended across various theaters of war from South Vietnam to North Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia. One of the significant campaigns they participated in was the Tet Offensive. This was a massive coordinated assault by the North Vietnamese and Viet Cong forces on more than 100 cities and outposts in South Vietnam. The MACV-SOG played a key role in gathering intelligence and conducting operations that helped counter this major offensive. Not only were they involved in direct combat, but they also dabbled in the mind games of warfare. They conducted psychological operations against North Vietnam, a testament to their versatility. These operations were designed to manipulate the enemy's state of mind, to confuse and to deceive. It was a battle not only of bullets and bombs, but also of hearts and minds. Another notable campaign they took part in was the Cambodian campaign. This was a series of military operations conducted in eastern Cambodia, a major base area and sanctuary for the North Vietnamese army. MACV-SOG was tasked with gathering critical intelligence and carrying out operations that disrupted the enemy's plans, proving instrumental in the success of this campaign. But it wasn't just about the big campaigns. MACV-SOG was involved in countless covert missions, many of which remain classified to this day. The operatives worked tirelessly, often behind enemy lines, gathering intelligence, capturing enemy soldiers, and creating chaos within the enemy ranks. In the grand theater of the Vietnam War, MACV-SOG was a major player, albeit a covert one. Their contributions, though shrouded in secrecy for over 20 years, were significant. They were the unseen heroes, the quiet professionals who carried out their duty with unwavering commitment and bravery. Their actions were instrumental in shaping the course of the war. In 1965, MACV-SOG began a new phase of their operations: cross-border missions. These daring missions took them beyond the borders of Vietnam into the neighboring countries of Laos and Cambodia. These operations were not just about expanding the geographic reach of MACV-SOG, but about venturing into uncharted territory, deep behind enemy lines. The first cross-border mission was launched in Laos in 1965. The teams were tasked with gathering vital intelligence, capturing enemy soldiers, and understanding the complex networks of trails and supply routes used by the enemy. The MACV-SOG operatives were like shadows, moving silently through the dense jungles, leaving no trace of their presence. Their missions were fraught with danger, but they were successful in providing invaluable information for the wider war effort. 2 years later, in 1967, the cross-border operations expanded into Cambodia. The daring and resourcefulness of the MACV-SOG teams were put to the test in these new terrains. Despite the challenges, they continued to excel, gathering crucial intelligence and disrupting enemy operations. Their success was a testament to their training, their bravery, and their unwavering commitment to their mission. The cross-border operations of MACV-SOG were a game-changer in the Vietnam War. They gave the Allied forces a strategic advantage, providing them with critical insights into the enemy's operations. These missions were not without their risks, but the men of MACV-SOG were willing to take those risks to venture into the unknown, all in the name of duty and service. These operations further cemented MACV-SOG's reputation as a distinguished military unit. So, to sum up, the MACV-SOG was much more than just another military unit. Born out of the need for strategic precision and secrecy, it was formed in 1964, during the thick of the Vietnam War. With its roots stretching back to the CIA's covert involvement in Vietnam from 1953, the MACV-SOG took on the mantle of conducting clandestine operations in North and South Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia. Their role in the Vietnam War was far from ordinary. They were the invisible hand, turning the tides of war, participating in major campaigns such as the Tet Offensive and the Cambodian Campaign. They did more than just fight. They also played psychological warfare against North Vietnam. Then, in the mid-60s, they began their daring cross-border operations, operating behind enemy lines in Laos and Cambodia. These operations, carried out with utmost bravery and skill, were essential in gathering intelligence and capturing enemy soldiers. The MACV-SOG was indeed a distinguished military unit, playing a key role in the Vietnam War, a fact that remained a secret for over 2 decades.